Rift Valley.
Okay.
Yet he's from the Rift Valley.
Okay.
Yes, please.
Okay. Let me bring in now, again, the talk about corruption.
Yes.
And we have seen different headlines,
Yes.
counter accusations,
Yes.
in terms of people questioning how did the deputy president know it's 7 billion and not 21 billion,
Yes.
as said by the cabinet secretary. So people are questioning, where did the deputy president get all this money? James Orengo, Senator for Siaya, recently said the deputy president also needs to go and record a statement. So what is the stand of Jubilee when it comes to the fight against corruption?
The way I see it, the fight against corruption is a national issue. The president wants all of us to deal with it. But in the process, I can tell you, corruption is like adultery. Nobody can throw the first stone. All of us, including Mheshimiwa here. I know he gave a few people to vote for him here and there. So there's a form of corruption. The only difference is magnitude.
But corruption is corruption.
Some people talking billions, others talking 100 shillings were given to a policeman because you are speeding. But they are all corruption. So there are also now those who use it as a weapon. Let's fight so and so, let's hit so and so, let's do so and so, has stolen more. So that's why you'd ask, how would a deputy president know it was 7 million? I thought when you are discussing money, it is discussed at cabinet level. It is only that some people can keep quiet and pretend, tell us, how is it? So the war on corruption is a national thing. But as a weapon, it is used selectively, here and there, hit here, hit that. So, and I think the narrative is to paint the deputy president as the high priest
of
corruption. And people think, arrest this one. And then I think the deputy president's side are also saying, we have been in this journey together. If you joke around, we will bring the KIA and KQ, we will bring in this, we will bring... Because I've told you, corruption is like adultery.
Okay, so Honorable Kangata, as Jubilee Party, is your party leader, President Uhuru Kenyatta, and you know, his deputy William Ruto, speaking from the same, reading from the same page when it comes to corruption. And I'm talking about this, referring to the strong sentiments that we had both of them when they were speaking in Kirinyaga during the devolution conference.
Yes, from where I sit, I think they are speaking from the same script. Both of them do not support corruption. They are people with high integrity. Both of them are really fighting to ensure that we don't have any person who is being maligned without any evidence. I think even when it comes to the systematic manner through which the DCI and also the DPP are carrying their work, they're being supported by the two principles. So therefore, this idea that one supports the fight against corruption, the other one doesn't support, to me, is hogwash. But
if you listened to the president the day he officially opened the conference, and the deputy the day he, the last day of the conference, it looked like there was a bit of some blame game, because the president was like, I'm here trying to fight corruption. Some of you are saying I'm corrupt. If you think I'm corrupt, and then Yapo Karura Forest and report me. And the deputy president was like saying something different altogether. So hence my question, are both of them reading from the same script when it comes to the fight against corruption? Because both of us can be, when it comes to integrity, we can be clean, but when it comes to the actions that Kenyans need to see, are both of them talking from the same script?
Yes, they are. I disagree with your characterization that the president said something which was somehow countermanded by the deputy president in his speech. For me, I think divergence of opinion was between the deputy president and the former prime minister. But in terms of the president and what the deputy president said, I think they were in the same page. That is, we fight against corruption. Anyone with any evidence against any other person, you go to DCI office and report there. But of course, don't try to malign the president. You must remember the president is the symbol of national unity.
I know whether you want to say something, but let me bring Kim Kun when it comes to this war against corruption, especially that mega scandal, because it's something that has brought a lot of division.
Thank you very much. I think from my point of view, to a large extent, they're not speaking from the same script 100%. And why do I say that? I feel that the president is also the person who chairs the cabinet. If this was indeed discussed at the cabinet level, he probably would have said it. I think we have a president who's also very open, who speaks about things there and then. He would have said, we have lost this sort of amount. The reason Kenyans are on the case of the deputy president, who I believe has been doing his job, is probably the fact that he came up with a figure. And anybody would question, do you actually run that part of the department? Would you know that exact figure, right? And for him to even try and defend it, and then the CS, Treasury, Rotich, comes up and says, no, indeed it was not 7, but it was 21. That already is a contradiction. But I said the fact that the CS Treasury was down on Kiambu Road, busy being asked to write statements, it should have not been a matter of public discussion, especially with somebody holding a high office like the deputy president. He should have not even thrown the salvo at the former prime minister, because when you look at the hierarchy of the system, we have the president and the deputy president. The former prime minister is a representative of the AU. So from a government point of view, he does not sit in Treasury. Yet, you know, you're exchanging words with somebody, sorry, not Treasury, Cabinet. So you're exchanging words with somebody who does not even sit in your meetings, already makes you take a back seat and you ask, why would he do that? Yeah? So I feel that the president is honestly out to fight this corruption. I'm also a member of KEPSA, Kenya Private Sector Alliance, and we had a very good conference at Bomas, and he spoke his heart out. And I think all the departments in this country who matter, who deal with issues of corruption, were there.
So what message was the government sending when Treasury Cabinet Secretary Henry Rotich was summoned 3 days, you know, within 1 week, 3 days, he was there. And on the last day, the third day, he was summoned also in the evening. What message is the government actually sending out?
I think the government is standing around and saying nobody is untouchable. And if you're involved in corruption, whichever office you're sitting or holding, you will be answerable.
Okay.
Yeah, to the citizens and to the country as a whole.
Okay.
Yes.
Let me, if you, gentlemen, you have Nation newspaper, and if you check page 5, it says Kiunjuri, who's agriculture CS, Chelugui in charge of water, Wamalo in charge of devolution, might face a dam probe. So should this investigations be extended to all these cabinet secretaries?
I thought money, when it comes out of Treasury, and it is interwoven. You generate whatever is to be done from the ground, it goes to the ministry takes it to Treasury. So all these people have an answer to give. They have to tell, this is how it happened. The Minister of Agriculture, Water and Irrigation, Honorable Wamalo was there, all this. It doesn't necessarily mean that they picked the 21 billion or the 7 billion. But the question which you asked, whether the president and the deputy are reading from the same script, from what is emerging, I think the deputy president feels that the organs are being used to look into certain areas of corruption, ignoring other areas of corruption.
But why would he have that mindset?
Because he's inside, and I think they know each other. That's why you could hear their attack teams. One team is led by Kipchumba Murkomen. There's another team. So he says, why are you looking into this only? This and this and this. Why can't you look at KQ? Why can't you look at KA? What are you people doing? Both they have been there, and they say, look, corruption has been there. People are corrupt. So you select which one. If I select the corruption of Mheshimiwa, the senator, he will be saying, why can't you also remember your corruption in this area? To that extent, they are not reading from the same scripts. The president may want us to deal with the question. But corruption is so interwoven that some people may be saying, don't look into only where you will find my hand. Start from where you will find your hand.
Okay.
If you don't do that, then you are not genuine.
Okay.
You are misusing state organs to fight people.
Okay. Now, let me bring in the conversation about the take.
Can I mention something?
Okay.
For me, when I see some other cabinet secretaries being mentioned, to me it's a positive move. If at all Kiunjuri is culpable and there is evidence, or Wamalo, or whoever else, they should be arrested and taken to court and charged. And if there is evidence that can convict them, they should be jailed. No one is above the law.
Okay.
So therefore, we will not hold brief for anyone because he comes from
a certain region.
No.
Okay.
In fact, for me, including the PSs in those ministries, I have no doubt about that they signed some documents.
Okay.
So on that score, the president is being celebrated by a majority of Kenyans by not being selective. Remember the so-called NYS-1 or NYS-2. It was full of people from a region in central Kenya. So therefore, if Wamalwa is culpable and there is evidence, charge him.
Kila mtu abebe msalaba wake.
Aende kotini and if he is convicted, okay, that's okay.
Okay.
Or if it is Kionjore, again, arrest him.
Okay.
We are not going to support anyone because you come from my region. No way. Everyone must face the law. Surely, those people have been taking money. If I know there is evidence, sijaona kileta kitu kwako ama umeleta